Another page in the history of South Africa is being written today, and this is the moment where Cyril Ramaphosa is set to be inaugurated in front of heads of state and large crowds of ordinary citizens at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. We are witnessing history in the making here. Ntlantla Kgatlane is on the lawns at the Union Buildings. He's on the south lawns. Let's cross over to him, find out how things are going there. Ntlantla, I can see the crowd sitting now, taking their seats. The dancing seems to have calmed down a little bit. Talk to us about what's happening.
It was a time to build a new nation.
Yes, well, indeed, as we continue with our live coverage here from the Union Building, but from the Southern Lawns, where ordinary South Africans are seated. I can tell you that since arrival here, people have been making their way in here. Earlier we saw visuals of them, dancing around. And one thing that I can show you, since my arrival here around 5 a.m., the mood was the same. Them running around, chanting songs and so forth. But Liana, with me, I'm with the CEO of the Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra, Bongani Tembe. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to us about, the significance of music in such events.
Music has the power to unite and heal our nation. And I'm glad that on this inauguration of our president, music is playing a wonderful role. Later you'll hear the musicians, the diverse musicians of Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra.
Talking about artists, what can we expect? And also, how important it is to you guys. Just talk to us with regard to how important is, that element of orchestra, in such an event.
Ntlantla, we are honored that Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra has been chosen to perform at the inauguration. We have a diverse program that reflects South Africa's heritage. We have Zoe Modiga performing with the orchestra, her own music. We've got Karendra Devrop, the saxophonist, and musicians coming from all 9 provinces who are part of Mzansi National Philharmonic Orchestra to celebrate this important moment in the history of South Africa.
Important moment. Thank you so much, Mr. Tembe, that, just talking to us about, that element of art, the element of music in events like this, saying that, music has the power to unite people. Since earlier we arrived here, we've been hearing people talking about what they expect as the president is going to be inaugurated. But with that being said, let me all link to my colleague, who's on the other side.
And good morning to you and to the viewers at home. We continue to give you live coverage from Union Buildings as we continue to witness the Constitution in all its glory. Now, what the viewers can expect this morning is that the President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa will be sworn in line with Schedule 2 of the Constitution. It will highlight how he should obey and provide those provisions of the Constitution, or keep in line with those provisions in terms of Schedule 2. We expect for him to be sworn in, and then, of course, all eyes will be on the president as to how he guides this next 7th administration and how we will see power sharing play out in the new government, or the government of national unity, should I say, when that takes place. So after we see all the pomp and circumstance today and the work of the next term has to begin, all eyes will be on the president to see who he appoints as the deputy president, as well as who will make up the cabinets, the very important tasks and roles which we expect to be carried out in this next term. Now, we know because there is power sharing and we are seeing a changing political landscape, we know that some of those roles will be delegated across different political parties, specifically those that are the founding members or founding partners of that GNU. But to elaborate further on some of what we're seeing in the political landscape as we continue to discuss this new changing landscape and what we expect to see in the next cabinet, I am joined by Professor Lesiba Tefo to discuss this. I'm sure, Mr. Tefo, you have seen and heard the utterances of the DA regarding its expectations when the the president appoints that cabinet. They are looking at a proportional representation. They argue that in this GNU, in which they are founding partners, they at least hold 30% of that stake and expect that the cabinet will reflect that.
Yes, indeed. I think I followed what we said with great interest, and she did demonstrate to me that there is this document that needs to be read. Unless and until it is read, there will be a misrepresentation of what the agreement is about and how it is going to operate. Even the constitution setting up the cabinet is going to be dictated to by the number of votes people have had, the percentage that they have. It's not like you walk in there because I said I come on board, therefore I'll get that. And I did get an impression that at one level she was a bit at variance with the Secretary General of the ANC, Ntate Mbalula. But I'm one of those who believe this is an opportune moment, the real dawn ushered by a man from Ntlantla, perhaps inadvertently. Ramaphosa at a philosophical level did well to talk about it. But there is this man who ushered the possibility of a government of national unity. Therein lies the seeds of possible redemption of a country that was already going too far in the wrong direction.
If we look at the DA, for example, their previous role in the last term, they served quite a strong role as the opposition and holding government to account where they erred. Do you see a scenario now with the agreement and all its terms and conditions where the DA is largely pacified due to this GNU? And then who fills that opposition role in South Africa, which is very important for a constitutional democracy, so that you have those in power being held to account?
Yes, there is this, unfortunately in Africa and in South Africa, we tend to look at the opposition as an adversary or an enemy. If indeed it's about the people, then it shouldn't be difficult to serve the people. But if it's about the individuals, if it's about the parties, then obviously you're going to have a problem, right? We never ever make a false assumption that because it's a government of national unity, there won't be rocky and bumpy contours along the highway. There will be, no doubt about that. But democracy thrives in the main because of a strong opposition. They go in there with their own identities, but they must put the interests of the people at the top. There is this anti-DA sentiment that is very strong, that it cannot work simply because DA is perceived to be white. And I'm averse to that. I'm against that. And I'm saying, if they want it to work, the DA, they will make it work. And all those who are there, if they want it to work, they will make it. There will be compromises. There will be difficulties here and there. But in the interest of the nation, let them find it possible to work together.
All right, thank you very much. That was Prof. Lesiba Tefo there, reflecting on the role the founding partners as well as the GNU as a whole have to play in this changing landscape, and with the task ahead as they head to that new term of the 7th administration, as one would term it. We continue to give you rolling coverage as we cover this glorious moment that is a part of that constitutional process, which will see the president-elect, President Cyril Ramaphosa, be inaugurated today. That will be presided over by the Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. We'll give you those details as soon as that ceremony begins. For now, we take a quick ad break.